Hello and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. My name is Gene Curl, and this is a series where I read my mission journal that I kept when I was a missionary for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. It's been a while since I've done one of these videos, and today I'm just going to start off where I left off in my last video, and I've decided here to do this at my desk instead of at my where I did it the last time, so as the scenery's changed a little bit. I'm just going to go ahead and start off where I left off in the last video. Monday, January 26th, 2004. Clear, hot, and windy. We went to the laundry 30 minutes later than we usually do, and it was packed, but we still got to do our laundry. I wrote Heidi, Mom, Gretchen, and I also wrote my president's letter. Around 1300, we went to Lanakai Beach Park and met Elders S, Elders S, Elder D, Elder L, Elder T, and Elder G, and we played frisbee for a while and then went bowling. I was the lowest score in both games, but I still got close to 100. We had dinner with the O family, and they fed us Haitian food, and it was very good. And it was also the first time that I have ever eaten Haitian food. It was hard to leave because Brother O wanted to talk, so we were late to Brother C's. Brother C made sure that we were aware of the fact that we were late. I know that we need to try harder to be on time. Before my mission, I was seldom ever late for anything. We talked to Brother C for an hour, and then we went home for a Tongan study. We were supposed to teach Chad, but he had to work. When we got home, I called President Willis to ask him what to do about home teaching, because I don't approve of the people we visit going towards home teaching numbers. President told me that he told the stake president to use us, and if they want our help, to give it, even if the ward members use it as an excuse to not home teach. Yeah, it was funny when we went visiting the inactive members in the ward. The elders quorum counted that as those people got a home teacher, because they were counting us as their home teaching. It's funny that every time I wanted the president to tell me that I could not do something, he told me to go ahead and do it. When we were at the C's house, I gave Brother C's mother a blessing after Elder S anointed her with oil. I have been a little depressed on and off on my mission, but most of the time things are going just peachy. I have not wanted to go on a team up with Elder S, not my mission companion, but a different Elder S, because he is very annoying. But that is not the Christ-like way to look at it, and I will pray tonight to ask the Lord's help to understand, accept, and get along and love Elder S. I should be glad to have a chance to be with him to show the Lord that I will do whatever he asks. It's a little confusing having multiple missionaries with the same last name, starts with the same letter, but I've decided not to read their last names because for respect for them. I don't know if they want to be on my video, so I'm just going to leave their last names out. Tuesday, the 27th of January 2004. Clear, hot, light wind. This morning, Elder S and I tried to visit a few old investigators, my companion Elder S, investigators, and then we went and visited some members. We visited Brother T. When we first knocked on the door, he pretended like he did not want us over, and then he invited us in and fed us lunch. He told us that we should try to teach Brother C the discussions. We taught the S a member family discussion, and they fed us lunch. We met all of the other elders in the district at 1300, and I went on a team up with Elder S. In the most part, the team up went pretty well. We visited inactive members until 1400, and then we tracked it until 1600. We did not teach anyone and only got one return appointment. We had an appointment with the L family at 1600, but they were not there, so we visited single names and part member families until almost dinner time. We tracked it 15 minutes before dinner and then went to dinner. We had dinner with the C family. Sister C told Elder S that he was not polite tonight. Sister C told me that I am one of her favorite people, but I crack her up. I shared the dinner message on the old man and the starfish, and then we went to the other Brother C's house. Elder S went on a team-up with Brother C, and I went on a team-up with Brother C's son, and he rode with me in my car. We visited 4 families. The first family, we were only there for a minute. The second, we were there for a while, and we shared a message. And the third house we went to see smelled overwhelmingly strong like marijuana. And when we got to the door, a huge German shepherd tried to come through the screen to eat us, but the owner caught him and told us to come back tomorrow. The last family was active, and when I tried to get them set up an appointment for a 6-step, they told me that they don't know anyone who is not a member. I am kind of tired of that line. We met back at the C's house at 20:30, and I got to the pad by 21:15. Wednesday, the 28th of January, 2004. Mostly clear, but it rained a little later on in the day. Light wind, hot. The wind started blowing heavy today and has been on and off the last few days, and I just have not made a note of it. Most of the morning we tried to see part-member families, but could not catch the most people at home. We had lunch at the pad, and then we went to the church for Tongan study, but I studied my certification instead. We tracted for an hour, but did not teach anyone. I spent most of the rest of the time between tracting and dinner visiting old investigators and inactive or part-member families. We had dinner with the S family, and they had one of their granddaughters and her husband over, who both went to Rick's College in Rexburg. I really enjoyed talking to the husband. Rick's College is now BYU, Idaho. We had an appointment to teach Roberta and her family at 1900. We thought we were meeting them in Kaneohe, but when we got there, we found out that they were at the major rights housing in Kaloha, close to where I used to live when I served in Nu'uanu. We showed up an hour late. Elder S had no idea how to get there, so I guided him. We taught the second discussion. After the Book of Mormon read, and after we had a prayer now, we invited everyone for baptism. All accepted the invitation except for the 12-year-old daughter, who had been going to another church with her stepfather. We got home at 21:50, and Elder S called President to let him know that we were late. Thursday, the 29th of January, 2004. Partly cloudy, light rain, windy, hot. Elder S had an area analysis with Elder D and Elder L, so we left the pad after 10. We decided to visit a member because we only had about 30 minutes. Today was my turn to drive. Zone plan was in Kaneohe from 11 to 1300. I teamed up with Elder G, and we mostly just invited people to the ward party. Elder S and I had lunch at 13:30. We tracted for an hour without teaching anyone, but we did talk to an old lady who was very much out of it. We tried to see a few people, but did not have much time, so we went on base. We had dinner with the G family, and Brother G wanted a blessing, so I anointed and Elder S blessed. I shared the dinner message on Johnny and his mention. These dinner stories that I shared, I didn't write down in my journal what the stories were, and so some of them I don't even remember what the stories were. This particular one, the Johnny and his mention, is that there's this guy named Johnny, and he did everything that he could living up to the gospel. And then finally, when he was older, he decided that he was going to just take it easy and just go golfing and stuff instead of going to church. So when he got to heaven, and Jesus was showing him around and showing him his mansion that was built just for him. And he looked at it, it was everything he ever wanted. But then he saw that it didn't have a roof on it. And he said, Lord, why is there no roof on my mansion? And Jesus said, well, Johnny, I quit when you did. So that was the story. And the point of the story was that we need to keep going until the end. Anyhow, we met Brother O at his house, and he went with us to invite Sonny to see the Testaments. He also took us to our appointment with Jim. Jim's mother is very anti-Mormon, so she made him pick up his wife when she originally planned to do it. We set up an appointment for next Wednesday. Brother O went home, and we visited Brother P. We really enjoyed talking to him. He explained how the helicopter engines work and then talked about fishing. We showed up 10 minutes late to Brother C's house. When we got there, the bishop and his companion just finished home teaching them. Brother C told us that he had to cancel because it was not a good time, so we went home. Elder S studied Tongan, and I tried to write my 3-minute talk for Zone Conference tomorrow. Friday, the 30th of January, 2004. Cloudy, rained, windy. Zone Conference was really good. The main theme of the conference was more love and more urgency. I know that I could definitely use help in the love department. I really love people of Hawaii, but on the hard days, the only thing that motivates me is duty. I need to pray every day with all the energy of my heart for love and charity for everyone, and perhaps I should even make some sacrifices for them. I could sacrifice male, and then again maybe not. I really need to not think about home or after my mission or worldly things. President changed the rules on a few things as well. The cleanest and most well-kept car used to get an award. Now, if your car scores below 90%, you will have a car appreciation day, and the second time a week, a third time transfer. The first time you'd have a car appreciation day, the second time it'll be a week without your car, and the third time you get transferred. The first time you speed, you lose your car for 1 day, and the second time a week, and the third time the companion driving can't drive the rest of the transfer. The new pad rules are if your pad score is very low, you will have to talk with President Willis, and the ones not cleaning will be scalded. I am excited about the new rules on the pads because most of the time on my mission I have been the only one cleaning. If you reach the standard on discussions, your name will be in the newsletter. If you teach the standard 5 out of 6 weeks, President and Sister Willis will take you to dinner. We had an appointment at 16:30, but they canceled, so we tracked it until dinner and taught one first discussion to a lady who was visiting her sister. We came to dinner at 1800, and it was not ready yet, but Sister W promised that it would only be a few minutes longer. We wound up staying for 2 hours. She would give us one undercooked dish, and then 10 minutes later another undercooked dish. This is the second bad, undercooked, horrible dinner that I have had this week. The other was with the C family. Sister W tried very hard and promised that dinner is usually good. Brother W told us that he has a honey-do list that just keeps growing, and I asked him if he knows how to correct it, and he said no. If you want it to get smaller, start doing the stuff on the list. It's that simple. President Willis told us that in a recent study that it was found that the married couples who are the happiest are those where the husband does exactly what the wife wants. He also told us always make sure we apologize first, even if we are not in the wrong. If we were wrong, we needed to. If they are wrong, they will probably say, no, I was wrong. Sister W told me that she thinks that I have a chance with Heidi, so now I have a single ray of hope. I would rather marry Heidi than all of the other girls in the world. She is the one girl I have loved. I had a thing for Kayleen, but I love Heidi and will with all of my heart. I was so caught up on her, and she never liked me that way. We came home at 2100 to plan our zone tract in our area tomorrow. In zone conference, President Hinckley said, if I were, not President Hinckley, it was President Willis. In zone conference, President Willis said, if I were a football coach and you were one of the teams, I would grab one of your helmets off the table and throw it on the floor. Then I would grab one of you and yell in your face, telling you that what a horrible player you are, and swear at you and at all of you, and tell you what kind of horrible things I would do to you if you don't improve. And you would go out there and score 40 touchdowns and win the game. But that's not my style. Saturday, the 31st of January, 2004. Partly cloudy. It rained a couple of times today. It rained very hard last night. Light wind most of the day. Heavy wind on occasion. We had zone tracked in Kailua second today. Elders that came besides Elder S and I are Elders T, Elder M, Elder L, Elder D, Elder S, Elder S, Elder M. Elder M went with me. We were not able to teach anyone. Elder S and Elder T taught one discussion. We had lunch at the pad and then had to go to Honolulu to teach a Tongan family. I drove. When we got there, they were not there, so we drove home. As I write, it is hard to think because some of our neighbors are having a domestic dispute with lots of yelling and swearing. We visited a Tongan family that goes to Kailua second. Their niece was visiting. She was skinny and pretty, which makes it hard to believe that she is Tongan. Tongans are great spiritual people, but when it comes to looks, in the most part, they get the short end of the stick. Wow, I can't believe I said that. That was really a horrible thing to say. Tongans are beautiful people. I don't know why I would say that. We went to teach an old investigator, and from time to time, we went to teach an older investigator, and from the time we got there, she only wanted to argue and try to convert us. She wanted us to watch an anti-Mormon video, but we told her no. As we were leaving, I told her that if she ever really wanted to know the truth about us, to give us a call, and we would be glad to come back and share it with her. We had dinner with the C family. Brother C had a couple of friends over from work, one of which is from Oklahoma. I asked him if he knows any my family, and she said that he said that he used to date my cousin Leslie. I excitedly told him that she is my cousin, and told him that I'd let her know that I met him. I shared the dinner message on how to know the Book of Mormon is true, and I read part of the introduction. We talked to Sunny for a while and invited her to church again. Earlier today, I decided to try to find a babysitter for Saturday, so we talked to Sister K and Sister J, and I received a package from my mother in which she included a Sunday paper. The portion with the announcements, Nate scored a 10-cow wife. Russell C is getting married to one worth not as much, and when I got home, I need to kick Erica's butt because she is getting married and she is not getting married in the temple. This whole thing about a 10-cow wife, there was this story about Johnny Lingo where Johnny Lingo was the most shrewd trader on the island, and there was this woman he loved named Mohana, and nobody thought Mohana was very pretty, and on the island the husband would give a cow or other livestock to the father so that he could marry his daughter, and everybody thought that Mohana was only worth like one cow, but Johnny Lingo gave 10 cows for her instead, and he did that so that she would know she was valuable. And so that's where in Mormonism they'll talk about if you got a 10-cow wife, because it's saying she's very pretty, which is kind of horrible when you think about it. But that was the whole thing with the 10-cow wife or the 8-cow wife or whatever, how many cows. It was from that movie Johnny Lingo, which is very problematic when you think about it. Sunday, the 1st of February, 2004. Mostly cloudy. It rained this morning, light wind. I paid my fast offering completely in quarters and other change. Chad, Brother C's friend, came to church, but only for sacrament. I think that this ward needs a training on what is and what is not appropriate for them to say in fast and testimony meeting. Today, most of the people said things that were not quite right, and a few of the testimonies were real doozies. I managed to stay awake through all 9 hours of church, even though I had a bussing headache. We taught one discussion during Sunday school period of the Tongan ward, and one discussion instead of the young men's listening young men's. We tried to visit a few people after church, but everyone pretty much told us to get lost because they wanted to watch the Super Bowl. We had dinner with almost all of the Tongan branch at one of their homes in Kalihi. I really wanted to see some people in Nu'uanu because we were so close, but I would not dare. We came back at 20:30 to have a week plan and companionship inventory, etc. All in all, this has been a pretty good week for Elder S and I. Monday, February 2nd, 2004. Mostly clear, hot, mild wind. I wrote Heidi, and I wrote the B family, and I wrote Mom. Everyone cleaned today, and now the pad is cleaner than I have ever seen it. A lot of the zone went to the Stake Center to play basketball. I did not want to play, so I let Elder S talk me into taking him to the mall. Elder S was looking for a gift for his sister, so when he saw a sign that read Spencer's gift, he walked in, and I tried to stop him, but he went in anyhow. I had to go to the far back of the store to get him and told him that we had to leave now. He asked why, and I told him this is a very bad store, so he left with me. We were only in there for about 30 seconds, but still way too long. You may not always notice when the Spirit is with you, but you always notice when the Spirit is not with you. And the Spirit sure left fast when we walked into that store. In the car, I explained to Elder S that all of the stores sell stuff related to sex and that we can never go in stores like that. And I definitely didn't like Spencer's gifts, apparently. I really wonder about Elder S sometimes. Every time I have gone on a team-up with him, he has got me into a bad and questionable situation. I guess I'll just have to keep a tighter rein on the Cambodian elder. The screen door on our pad has not stayed shut since I've been here, so today I took the doorknob apart and fixed it so it works well. We could not get a hold of our Tongan dinner, so we just went out and visited part member families until about 20:30, and then we went home and ate dinner. Tuesday, the 3rd day of February 2004. Mostly clear, light sprinkles, light wind, moderate temperature. We visited inactive and part member families until around 11. Then we came back to the pad and worked on the area book until lunch. Lunchtime, I finished my 3rd discussion visual. I made a cardboard church instead of the cups, and I received a letter from my sister Joan. She sure did not say much. After 6 months, it looks like she would have a lot to report, but only wrote a small letter. Oh well, at least she wrote. After lunch, we went to church for Tongan study, but I studied to recertify. Then we tracted for an hour without any success. One man asked if we were selling drugs, likely because he used them. We met Sister V at her house, and she followed us to Sonny's house. We taught the 3rd discussion using my new visuals. The discussion went pretty well. I was really glad to have Sister V there. She helped a lot. I'm also glad that we did not have Sister O over because she would have complicated things. We also worked out most of the details on our Testaments trip on Saturday. We met the Tongan family that was supposed to feed us, but they did not feed us. They gave us $40 to split instead. We ate at the pad quickly and then went to Brother K's home to meet them for team-ups. Elder S went with Brother Ian, and I went with Brother K. We pretty much only visited active members. We did not decide who we would visit. Brother H decided for us, but did not tell us why we were there to visit them, and some of them did not even know that we were coming. I shared the message at the homes we visited. The last people we visited were single adults from the singles branch that we met at Brother K's house. One of the girls is from Bear Lake, Idaho. I don't really see why Brother H had us meet them. It would make me trunky to serve in a singles ward because it would make me think of my home and my ward. We came home at 2100 so Elder S could finish his training for district meeting. We visited one lady in the primary presidency today, and she told us that a while back the bishop kind of forced a lot of couples to attend a marriage class instead of the regular Sunday school class, and after the class only 1 or 2 couples ever came back to the church. So either they did not like what was said in the class or they did not like being forced to take it. Well, I think that will be it for today. If you have any questions or concerns, or you just want to reach out to me, comment down below, and I will try to get back on my regular schedule of reading my reading my journal for you guys. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next video.